Well, winter weather advisory has been issued. We'll get some icy mix, and eventually later Friday evening it'll melt off and it'll be all rain Friday night into Saturday morning. Winter weather alerts, though, for Friday morning through the evening is a winter weather advisory across the area. Mainly this is for ice. There may be some snow and sleet briefly, but freezing rain creating a layer of ice is going to be the bigger impact in the afternoon through possibly the evening rush. The winter weather maker is just making its way onshore, so once we get our weather balloons up in it and sample it, sometimes you get some changes to the forecast, so please do check back. But what it's going to do is scoop up some of that moisture from the south and eventually the warmth. But the moisture comes in the form of that wintry mix until eventually we get above freezing Friday evening and it turns to all rain. Let's play it out hour by hour for you. Now, it looks like the morning drive in St. Louis is going to be dry. Areas southwest could be a little bit of a different story. Here we are by noon. Now, I'd say anywhere from 9 a.m. to noon in the St. Louis metro. Let's be prepared for a little snow sleet to make its way in from the southwest. A little earlier down towards, say, Rowlett to Sullivan, you might see it as early as, say, 7 to 9 a.m. But it's more towards that mid to late morning and midday, noon, that we start to see it crank up across the area. It's not going to be terribly heavy right away, but any kind of light snow or sleet or even some freezing rain on some frozen ground does create some slick conditions on untreated surfaces. Of course, DOT is way ahead of this and has treated. This is freezing rain in the afternoon through the evening rush. We're still below freezing at 31. It's borderline, but it's still below freezing. And then by the time we get to 7 p.m., we start to transition to more of just a cold rain in St. Louis. That transition above freezing is going to be key. We're going to be watching that in the 6 to 9 p.m. time frame, but that's about the time frame I expect to get above freezing. And then it's just cold rain Friday night into Saturday morning. Maybe heavy at times, like midnight here, going into Saturday morning. And it's going to turn windy. Now, a cold front's going to push that moisture out. It may end as a few flurries Saturday morning, but mostly the rain is tapering off and the cold is just moving in. It will be cold and windy, and Saturday's an upside down day, meaning temperatures are warmer in the morning in the 40s, colder in the 30s in the afternoon Saturday. So snow and sleet really doesn't look too bad for St. Louis. 0 is a possibility to maybe a ½ an inch combined snow and sleet. As you go a little farther northwest, a better chance to see up to an inch, maybe up to 2 inches in Bowling Green. The ice is probably the bigger challenge here. Anywhere from a 1/10 of an inch to a 1/4 of an inch across from about St. Louis to the west-northwest. That's where I expect the higher ice accumulations. Lower, but still an issue on untreated surfaces to the south and southeast. This is mainly a travel issue, but anytime you start to get near around a 1/4 of an inch, there could be some isolated power outages. Still think this is mainly a travel issue, and again, it does melt off in the evening. So for the morning drive in St. Louis looks dry. Starts 9 a.m. to noon, and it may just start at noon, so it may take a while to get going. In the afternoon to evening rush, sleet to freezing rain, icy on untreated surfaces. Treated roads may actually be mostly wet, but it just really depends on how well they're treated. In the evening, it turns to all rain, 1/2 an inch to 1.5 inches, and that means some flooding is possible into Saturday morning. That's why a flood watch is in effect from Friday evening through Friday night into Saturday morning. So weather alert day tomorrow for Friday because of the icing. The morning rain ends Saturday. It turns colder, temperatures in the 30s in the afternoon, and that sets us up for a couple really cold days Sunday and Monday with highs only in the low 20s. Yeah, we could still see some changes, so please check back on KMOV.com, News 4, and the KMOV weather app.